second time ever doing this. So last time I did this, right before I went on stage, I was informed that a friend of mine that I was in treatment with had overdosed and passed away right before I went on stage. So I'm going to start the night with something I wrote as a tribute to him. It's called There's a Crack in the Foundation. We lost another one. Jesus, when will we finally get exhausted saying that? Another casualty reported here on the streets. Another father buried by his children. Another beautiful soul claimed by the needle. Nobody else is going to give a shit. That's just one less junkie society has to worry about. But for those out here who are fighting for our lives, it carries the same weight with us as it does every time you bury a soldier during war. I'm tired of just accepting this is the fate we deserve. I feel tragedies such as these strip us a little more of our humanity. This war would claim so fewer victims if we would just stop surrendering. I'm just tired of us always letting them win. Even though I know how real the struggle is, it just breaks my heart every time one of us falls. We are human beings more than we are addicts. I don't expect the typical member of middle America to understand all of you the way that I do. But how can we ever hope to transcend? How can we hope to be something beyond what they all label us if we continue to be everything that they already expect us to be? We may as well be in blackface at a minstrel show, performing monkeys in a circus sideshow, watching as the rest of the world places bets. Which one's life is going to fall apart today? Who's the next one that will end up in jail? Which one of us will be the next one that dies? Do I sound a little bit angry? I'm fucking glad, because you best believe I'm angry. Angry at the world. Angry at the streets. Angry that in our world, death is almost normalized. My heart's not strong enough to keep doing this. Watching so many of us fall and fall again. Knowing that each time one of us falls, there's a strong chance they may never get up again. I'm torn because I want to be there. Nobody should ever have to suffer alone. But sometimes I just want to walk away from you all. That's not me being unfair, that's just me being honest. It's so easy to become disillusioned, because this war we are engaging in, there is no hope that it will ever have an ending. It's just going to go on and on and on and on. And God damn it, I love you all, on such a deep and profound level. I want us all to succeed and find happiness. I want us all to thrive and live forever. We all deserve the most beautiful lives after the hell that we've all been through. I just want to scream at the top of my lungs, fuck drugs and fuck everything they stand for destroying so many lovely people, for every child whose heart is broken, for every mother and father who will never again know how amazing their child was when they were sober. I'm not trying to be preachy, I'm just saying what I feel. There are so many tears being shed every day. It's such a waste what happened to this beautiful man. Do you think his son will ever understand? Why is it so easy for us to forget about them? I don't know, but it all just makes me sick. Life is so much better than any high I've ever known. But even I am guilty of falling sometimes. A moment of silence, please, while they dig the grave. Could we maybe sing a song that we knew he loved, while the rain keeps falling relentlessly, while we grieve for our friend we will never see again? I know it seems so dark right now, but we can't let that darkness consume us. We need to keep moving until we see the next part of the dream. Right now, our hearts are allowed to be broken. We are allowed to hurt, but we must fight through the pain. There's a crack in the foundation, but the damage is not permanent. The leaves are no longer brown. They are starting to get some color again. There's a cold wind blowing over the withered bones of every soul that is departed to a great beyond we may never know. Hope is the candle that burns there each night. The flame it flickers as the wax melts away. The spirits there don't rest anymore. They've been waiting for a little sunshine to remind them it's still a beautiful world out here. May God strike down all the pushers on the streets for keeping our hunger fed when we would be better off starving. I guess he would have to strike me down too, because there was a time not that long ago I myself was the cause of a girl's overdose. The guilt still eats at me, as I'm sure it always will. She was also buried by her mother and children. They called me a murderer while I wanted to die. This life is such a cruel and vicious life. It's so easy for everything and everyone we love to become broken. Elliot, we weren't that close, but we had a few good laughs, and you were a damn good man. It's still hard to wrap my head around the fact you're gone. What was going through your head? Did you want to die, or were you just trying to run away? Could any of us have stopped you, or was your mind already made up? All I know is that the last thing I want to be writing is an epitaph for a a friend who lost his fight against addiction. Your life didn't deserve to be cut so short. The people who love you don't deserve this either. I'm looking for hope as your body disappears. It's hard to find joy inside these tears that we are crying. I don't believe there's anything harder than grief. It's a terribly hopeless feeling, knowing that nothing you do or say can hope to bring back somebody you love. I may fall to my knees, but I won't fall apart. We are going to celebrate your life as you haunt all the rooms that we are in together. The last thing you'll be is forgotten. The last thing I'm going to do is follow you down. So here's a toast to another cautionary tale, as we say goodbye to another fallen soldier. We love you, and I'm sorry that wasn't enough. We hope you found some peace now. We hope your soul can finally get some rest. Good night, our dear friend. Good night. So this next one is probably the closest thing to a love poem I've ever written. I wrote it for a girl that I don't talk to anymore, so it's a little bittersweet. It's called It's Beautiful to Be Loved. It's a beautiful thing to be loved, especially by someone you have given your love to in return. When your hearts are beating to the same kind of rhythm, your dreams become a little less darker, the songs you sing become a little bit softer. It's easier to find a smile inside the darkness and inside of the hurt. You don't feel so alone anymore, having someone you can share your life with. That's why you must go all in. Just live and laugh and love and dream. Spend forever clutching to your wild heart, giving little pieces away to the ones who deserve it. They can help protect your heart while you help them protect theirs. Don't be the reason for each other's pain. Be the reason that they feel like they can always thrive. Build each other up while the world keeps steadily trying to knock you down. It's beautiful to be loved, like a vampire's kiss beneath a poinsettia moon, like a slow-motion dream, now dressed up in pretty colors, where before it was only sepia-toned or black and white. I want to dance beneath the crystals in the snow, while the ice melts and forms the most fascinating shapes, while the day breaks and gives way to the bitter winds of the dark and mysterious night, where the freaks like us will always feel more at home, where minds as curious as ours will always feel more at peace. There's a strange bluebird inside the raven's nest, singing her songs to anyone who will listen, as she spreads her wings and gently flies away. I watch as she disappears into the bright blue beautiful horizon, alone but at peace, because loneliness is not something that frightens her anymore. Loneliness is something that frightens me all the time. It's beautiful to be loved, especially when you're afraid of the dark and you just want somebody to walk with. Dreams just aren't as interesting if you can't share them with somebody. I'm helpless to be so hopeless. An old school romantic soul with a head full of childlike whimsy and a heart full of pastel beauty. I just want to paint over all the ugliness in this world while the ice sculptures collapse into a puddle of broken promises and lost dreams. Like a midnight swan on a twilight crusade, I will help all those dreams come alive again. So let's put a little money in the jukebox, and we can play all the songs that make us cry. We can hold each other close and weep together, waiting for the tears to finally dry. Then we can slow dance to all the love songs from an era long before we were born. Scream, my beautiful blackbird, scream. Let me know all of your pain that you've always kept locked inside. Give me a chance to take it all away. I'll bury it right here in my backyard until the springtime when the flowers start to grow again, leaving it all barely even a memory. Let's make some new ones before we are too old to laugh. It's beautiful to be loved before our hearts all turn to stone, before we break completely apart and crumble like ashes blowing in the wind until we dissolve right into the ground. Freaks like us will never truly belong in a world like this. We don't cherish our good looks, we cherish our hearts and we cherish our minds. We know that the silence is between conversations. That's where the real honesty lies. Don't be afraid to be a dreamer. Believe in things that seem like they are impossible. Find someone who's willing to fight by your side. Somebody who's right there to lend you their strength when you're weak and don't know if you can carry on. Inside this empty room, I think about your face, while resurrecting the old flames of all the loves who have since passed me by. With each broken heart, I learned a little bit more about myself. I learned to stand a little bit taller and to walk a little bit straighter. Now I'm ready to love again, to give my heart to someone who hopefully won't destroy it, someone whose heart I hopefully won't destroy in return. We belong to this place where stars shine like forever, as bright as the home where our souls used to dream. That house has since been demolished by machines operated by our past, and all the painful memories we refuse to let go. But just because something is broken, it doesn't mean it can't be put back together again. I'm going to pull 2 coins out of my pocket. Give me your hand and I'll drop one in your palm. We can toss them both right here in the wishing well. Maybe with just a little luck, all of our wishes will come true. It's a miracle we're both even standing here, when up until now our lives have been consumed with darkness. These walls are made of glass, so let us not throw stones if we want them to last. Let's watch the world outside with this picture-perfect view, your hand in mine as we wait for the clouds to roll by. It's beautiful to be loved. Freaks like us love harder than most everybody else. We're the easiest to hurt, we're the easiest to break. So let's not hurt each other if we can avoid it, because we both have been broken enough. Neither one of us wants to walk this world alone. So give your nightmares all to me, and we'll replace them with the dreams we spent so much of our lives trying to make come true. Give me all your sad songs, and we'll replace them with all the love songs we have yet to sing, the ones we have yet to write. Be my muse and I'll be your artist. Be my heart and I'll be your soul. Together we don't have to be sad anymore. So I have one more. It's kind of a plea for hope. It's called The Song for Yesterday. I want to be in a black and white movie where everybody wins and everyone's in love. I want to live with you in a quiet little house where everything we have is only everything we need. I'll sing a song for yesterday about all the little people we've met in this great big world, all the journeys we all have taken, all the winding roads we've left behind. I want to break bread with my enemies. I'd rather make peace than throw another punch. There's no comfort in holding resentments. You can't make room for love with a heart full of hate. I always worried I'd grow up to be a monster, like the reprehensible nature of my father with the sensitive heart. I believe I'd always live in the darkness, where the faceless shadows and nightmares all meet. I learned how to exist with my pain by inflicting that same pain upon the people that I loved. I buried the good that was left in me under a blanket of vengeance and malice. But I'm learning how to open my heart again, to love that is compassionate and love that is free. Why don't you pull up some space besides me and just dream with me a while? I'm building a fire to keep our bodies warm. Go ahead and throw in all the things that ever caused you pain. The bombs inside our hearts have all been diffused. Such an explosion would break them both forever. Now we can count all the stars under the moonlight here on the grass, with a perfect view of the same streets that I thought were going to kill me. I'm so glad I broke free from the shackles. The same chains that used to bind me are now shattered in pieces in a gutter beside some abandoned warehouse, where we used to go dumpster diving just to have some clothes to wear, just to have some food to eat. Who am I kidding? It was just to help pay for our next fix. When the drugs stopped working, we knew we just needed a little more. Don't mind all the innocent people we might end up hurting along the way. I'm ready to leave that life behind forever. The streets never brought me anything that I didn't have to end up paying back, with a little bit of blood on my hands and a lifetime of tears that are only now beginning to dry. When I was a child, I wanted to grow up to do incredible things, become a part of something beautiful, make the world a more wonderful place. Then I got lost in a haze of disillusionment. It was easier being destructive, because by surrendering to my insecurities, I believed that everyone and everything was only going to hurt me in the end anyway. These days, that fog's becoming clearer. Thank fucking God I can see again. There's so much around me that's worth living for. Now I wake up every morning just to watch the sun rising over the bend. Don't let your heart be broken by people who no longer have hearts of their own. All that they want is for you to all hurt together. If you give into that darkness, there is no hope you will ever heal. Inside all of us, there are demons who want to destroy all that's good and that's pure. Banish them behind walls of isolation. They may never be gone for good, but at least then they'll be gone out of sight. It's a strange kind of feeling, this peaceful love in my heart. The war they waged may have left us tired and ragged, but even the weariest of soldiers can't afford to just surrender or walk away. We belong to be left standing in this world that is so full of beauty. There are days when I'm still frightened. I still have days where I feel sad. But I know even when I still struggle, it's all going to be worth it in the end. Last night a stranger came to me in my dreams. I know I've seen that face before. I know I've spoken those same words before. When the morning came, I was awoken by nothing but the beating of my tender heart. These days, that's all I need to feel alive. The night sky collapses and gives way to the day. We all have souls that are worth saving. We all have dreams that are worth pursuing. I cannot give you comfort if I'm not comfortable with myself. I'm not asking you to wait for me. I just want you to understand that I need to keep learning how to love myself if I can ever hope to give anyone the kind of love that they might need. The world is such a mysterious place. Sometimes it's also hard to take it all in. Life is unpredictable. Life doesn't offer you promises or guarantees. But if you lay down some of your burdens, the road ahead might be a little more stable. The path you need to take might be a little more clear. I'm never going back to that place that threatened to destroy everything that I love. I wish I could repress those memories forever, but I deserve to remember all the hurt that I caused. What breaks my heart more than anything is knowing there are things I'll never be able to make right. I know it's time to make a change. I now look for the good in everyone. I'm finally rediscovering the good inside of me. Break the locks and hit the lights. The world outside is waiting for you. Don't be afraid, it will all work out somehow. Your heart's so full of untapped potential. There's love all around us, and love is never less than beautiful. And anything that's beautiful is everything in life. I'll sing a song of yesterday, about all the rainy days and snowy nights, about the times we felt like giving up, packing it all in or throwing it all away. All will be revealed in time, my friend. I am no stranger to falling apart. It's picking up the pieces that I'm not used to. I used to dream in isolation, on a bed made of fear and alienation. These days I'm struck with this intense feeling of liberation. The saddest songs in the world will never compare to the happier days that are ahead. And though we may be pacified by superficial distractions that help fight the boredom, we must never lose sight of the depth of raw emotion. If we want to experience true joy, sometimes we must endure a little pain. The trade-off is worth it when you allow your heart to feel. We are no longer broken. We're not lost. We're just taking our time. The city may be covered in urban decay, but what seems ugly on the surface is actually quite lovely when you dig underneath. So let's sing a song of yesterday, about the past we're leaving behind, about ghosts that no longer will haunt us, about the dreams we thought were gone forever. Someday we are going to die, and the warming sun will shine over our bodies. Until then, let's just keep living, while our brains can still think and our hearts can still beat. While the world is still spinning over our heads. When the song is over, rest in the comfort of knowing someone will finish it for us when we're gone.